Lots of people have been asking me how to get rid of these little icons that have appeared across loads of things in your stash. So today I'm going to explain to you exactly how the new wishlist works and how to get rid of them if you want to. To start with, let's just have a look at the menu itself. If you right click, then they have add to wishlist in the new context menu here. If you're watching from BSG, please move this down to the bottom because having it at the top, it's really not necessary. This is an administration thing, not like a day-to-day use thing. So from here, you can add the items to one of 5 different lists: tasks, equipment, hideout, other, and barter. And what you can see here is the grenades are automatically assigned to this hideout tab. However, remove from wishlist is grayed out. If you specifically put it in hideout, then you can go and remove from wishlist afterwards. But even when you do, it stays like this. And this is because of a different mechanic here in the settings that you need to be aware of in order to get rid of it. So we click down in the settings and we scroll down here. There are 2 new options in the menu. The first one is wishlist item notifications, which is either enabled, disabled, in raid only, or stash only. What this does is this gives a little pop-up notification in the bottom right hand corner of the screen when you pick up an item that is on one of your wish lists in raid, or when you're in your stash and you pick up an item out of a craft and presumably crest rewards as well that are also on your wish list. This thing then allows you to specify whether you want that to happen or not, or whether you just want it to happen in raid or just in the stash. For purposes of fixing this problem, this is not important, but it's useful to know. The next option is the auto add to wish list, and this is what's causing all of your items to have random stuff on them. So here we've got disabled, we've got crafting recipes, and we have all hideout items. Disabled is the easiest one as it stops things from automatically being added to the wish list. If I add disable in here and press save, you can see it gets rid of all the M67s, but the slickers still shows up because I manually added this one to the barter list. If I remove that from the list, it goes away. So I'm going to add that back to the barter list and go back to our settings menu. When you put something as crafting recipes and press save, this then shows this back up again. So what this is doing is this is automatically adding crafting recipes to the wish list. But if we jump into the hideout, you will see that not all of the crafting inputs are flagged up for this wish list. And this is something that is confusing quite a lot of people. If we look through here, we have a number of items here which are not on the wish list. There's a few things like this, like morphine. We've got the max energy drink. You can see these vitamins here. And the reason for this is the wish list items are only showing up for favorited crafts. If you favorite a craft, then it's going to show up all of these items as wish list items. But what that does is it shows any of the inputs that you have here in the other crafts as well. So for example, for the propitol craft, we have pile of meds. So pile of meds is a wish list item for that particular craft. That also means it's going to show up as a wish listed item for the pile of meds into AI2 craft, even though that one isn't wish listed. And you can see if I add and remove it from the wish list, these things get added or removed as it goes on. So this is the determining factor as to whether it is wish listed or not. This is something that is slightly confusing in here because it should say favorited crafting recipes, not just crafting recipes. So this is the reason why this is coming in here. Then you can have all hideout items. This includes other items like this here. I can only show you one extra module. This is basically anything that you need to build. I only have one hideout upgrade left to do, which is this one in Intelligence Center, because I haven't found the far forward GPS signal amplifier unit yet, despite my best efforts on labs. And so this will show you items that you need for hideout upgrades currently. I doubt whether it'll do future hideout upgrades if they're not currently active. So it's not going to predict in the future level 2 or level 3 will be if you don't have level 1 or level 2, for example. But if we go and turn this off again, we'll go disable and save this, then it stops this from showing up. That's basically what's happening here. If you don't want to see this at all, then just go disabled, and this will turn all of it off, and you won't see any wishlist stuff. It'll all just disappear, except for the things that you've manually added yourself. If you want to clear all of the stuff that you've added, you just press clear wishlist and save that, and that will get rid of all your wishlist items, and then you won't have anything at all. It's as if the wishlist doesn't really exist. If you want to see all notifications and you want to see all hideout items and crafting recipes on the wish list and that have notifications for them too, then you want to save this, and this only works for favorited items. Now, the one last thing that I would say is that sometimes you want to be looking for something. Say you want to find a fuel conditioner, but you don't actually have any. So how do you put it on the list? Because quest items aren't part of the system for auto marking. So what you need to do is you need to go to the handbook, you need to find the item that you want here, and then you can add it to the wish list there and put tasks on here. So even if you don't have the item, you can go and put it on the wish list, even if you don't actually have one, because the reason why you're looking for it is probably because you don't have one. So you could do this with fuel conditioners, with LEDX propane tanks. You can add them to the wish list here, so that when you're in raid, you get a notification when you pick one up, and it looks a little bit different while you're looting to remind you that that's what you need. In this particular way, you can also add stuff to the wish list manually for quests that you know are coming up and for hideout upgrades that you also know are coming up as well. And that'll help you optimize what you have to do in raid, especially for the new wipe, as it's probably going to be coming in about a month. It's something very, very useful to remember. So I hope that clears it up. As usual, big shout out to all my patrons, and as always, have fun in your raids.